Okay, we have a special guest to announce Detroit's selection. Please welcome one of the greatest players in NFL history and the cover athlete of Madden NFL 25 as selected by you, the fans, Hall of Famer Barry Sanders.
I want to thank the 40 million strong that voted me on the cover of Madden NFL 25. It's a huge honor. With the 5th pick of the 2013 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Ziggy Ansah, defensive end, BYU.
Got it. So we have, coming out of the green room, a young man who just a couple years ago hadn't even played the sport. We have a 5th overall pick in this draft with 4.5 career sacks.
Please understand the magnitude of this story. The reason he's playing football is that the BYU basketball team cut him twice. Then he went to the track team. He never came to football until 2010 as a walk-on. Now he's 6'5", he's 270 pounds, and he's got frightening physical skills. Coming off the edge at the Senior Bowl, he dominated the football game. But Rich Eisen told you, and there's the picture of him growing up as a boy in Ghana. Rich Eisen told you he was not even on NFL teams' radars. He wasn't even on their scouting lists for the senior season. Michael, I got a phone call doing a Notre Dame game back in September from one of my scouting buddies. They said, Mike, have you heard about this kid Ansah from BYU? I'm like, he's not on any list I have. He said he's going to be a first-round pick, and all the West Coast scouts are going crazy. Several months later, he's the number 5 pick in the draft.
Unreal.
He's a boom or bust candidate. I love the kid. I'm rooting for him. 3 years from now, he's an all-pro or he's on the streets.
Wow.
And I don't mean that negatively. I'm just saying it's a projection.
Yeah, this is a real good pick by Martin Mayhew over there in Detroit, because you mentioned the basketball, but then when he ran track 10,900 meters, this guy can fly now 4.63 at the combine. But you talk about need, because they've got some tackles in Ndamukong Suh, Nick Fairley, but when you lose Averill and Van Bosch, you need some outside presence. This guy will give you that. They can score points on offense, and they'll take care of that. But Jim Schwartz is going to he's going to be happy to have another pass rusher.
And they have to work on some of his techniques and some of his tricks of the trade. But what we're seeing now, guys like this, big, tall guys, they have to get those guys on a team because of what? Because the quarterbacks are so mobile now. Right. And it's not about just the technique on beating the offensive lineman. It's also on what kind of wheels you got to chase that mobile quarterback.
Somebody's got to chase Aaron Rodgers and Jay Cutler and bring them down.
Those guys, and that speed gets
Hey, Michael, there is a play in the Senior Bowl game where Denard Robinson, the quarterback from Michigan, is playing wide receiver. Right. They give him the ball on a reverse, and he gets initially fooled on the reverse. He opened his hips, he stuck his foot in the ground, and he chased Denard Robinson down with no angle. And I went, wow.
Mike, and that right there is when he got drafted. Right there is when he got drafted.
Ziggy Ansah is the first BYU top 10 pick since Jim McMahon was chosen 5th overall by the Bears in 1982. That's how long it's been.